Hi guys, I'm back, and today we are going to uncover why some stupid people like me think that they are smart. As you all know, I'm not as much fond of wasting your precious time, so without any further ado, let's come to the point. We all like to believe we're pretty good at certain things, or maybe even above average in some areas. And for the most of the parts, we probably are in some aspects. But here's the kicker. You're likely not as accurate as you think when it comes to gauging your abilities. Chances are you're both overestimating and underestimating yourself in ways you'd never expect, and the extent of how off the mark you are might really surprise you. In 1999, psychologists David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger conducted a study that uncovered what's now known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. They tested participants on humor, logical reasoning, and grammar, then asked them to rate their own performance compared to others. What they found was surprising. People who did poorly often thought they had done much better than they actually had, while high performers tended to downplay their abilities. This cognitive bias shows that those with less knowledge or experience often overestimate their competence, while more experienced individuals tend to doubt their skills. Though debated, the Dunning-Kruger effect highlights a paradox that, once you understand the reasons behind it, makes sense. People with limited knowledge or experience often fail to realize their own incompetence. They don't know enough to know what they don't know. As Dunning put it, if you're incompetent, you can't know you're incompetent. The skills you need to produce a right answer are exactly the skills you need to recognize a right answer. On the flip side, those with more experience or expertise are aware of the complexities and challenges within their field, which can lead them to doubt their abilities. They may also assume others are just as competent, causing them to underestimate their own skills. The Dunning-Kruger effect has been observed in everyday life, such as driving, when 93% of Americans believe they're above average drivers, or in workplaces, where up to 40% of employees think they're in the top 5% of performers. Clearly, not everyone can be above average. Metacognition, the ability to be aware of and reflect on one's own thought processes, is key to learning and growth. It helps individuals recognize patterns, spot errors, and develop strategies to improve their thinking. According to Dunning and Kruger, when people lack metacognitive skills, they can't identify their own mistakes, which leads them to believe they are right even when they aren't. This gap in awareness can be unsettling, especially when people feel sure of themselves despite being wrong. On a larger societal scale, this becomes even more concerning. As Dunning pointed out, incompetence does not leave people disoriented, perplexed, or cautious. Instead, the incompetent are often blessed with inappropriate confidence. This results in a situation where the least knowledgeable are often the loudest and most confident, while those who are more qualified tend to be quieter, more cautious, and struggle to communicate their insights effectively to others. In today's world, where everyone seems to have an opinion on everything, thanks to social media and our innate tendencies, it's common for the loudest voices to come from those who are least qualified. The Dunning-Kruger effect, combined with our propensity for quick judgments, means that confidence and charisma often overshadow nuance and careful thought. As a result, the most thoughtful and cautious perspectives can be harder to hear. While it's natural to want to make an impact and have your voice heard, sometimes the greatest impact comes from embracing silence. The question is, does the world need more voices, or does it need more careful ones? Of course, the irony of advocating for silence while discussing this topic isn't lost on me. The goal isn't to be silent all the time, but to be carefully noisy. While it's impossible not to have opinions, we can strive to hold fewer of them, or at least be more thoughtful about the ones we do express. Awareness of the Dunning-Kruger effect might make you think you're immune to it, but that awareness itself can be a form of overconfidence. The first rule of the Dunning-Kruger Club is that you don't know you're a member. In truth, nobody is immune to the Dunning-Kruger effect. The very nature of this phenomenon means that people often don't realize they're overestimating their knowledge or abilities. Paradoxically, thinking you're immune to it is a sign that you're not. However, we can mitigate its effects through awareness and humility. By embracing moments of silence and acknowledging that we don't need to be experts in everything, we can distance ourselves from overconfidence and gain a clearer understanding of our true capabilities. It's normal to be well-versed in a few areas, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, beyond a certain point, having too many opinions can diminish their accuracy. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a constant companion throughout life. As we take on new challenges, we will inevitably encounter areas where we lack competence, and as long as we're lacking, we may not fully recognize our limitations. Yet, by continuing to learn and grow, we can better align our self-perception with reality. Life is a continuous journey of discovering our own limitations, realizing how much we don't know, and grasping the complexity of things, only to start the process all over again.